at this channel where we talk about the spiritual truth and how to utilize energy on a day-to-day basis, man. And how y'all doing today, man? First of all, let's go ahead and get right into it. So, what y'all see by the title ain't got necessarily just any only things to do with anime, but it's just in general of what you know, what you get when you know how to control your mind. Not only that, when you know how to use the gifts and talents that you actually have. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't understand the potential we have because, we always distracted. We always trying to run, trying to get into other things. And we always have life, you know what I'm saying? Life very fast. Before you know it, you be a whole nother age. You could remember being in middle school like it was during there 3 weeks ago. You get what I'm saying? If you could be grown as hell. So when it comes down to that, y'all, let's go ahead and get into it, man. So when I look at Naruto, Dragon Ball Z is always talking about mindsets of how you being able to unlock or be able to go to the next level. So even from a perspective of someone trying to get closer to God, as some would say, this would be the closest thing to what they call of God without putting too much of the religious aspect to it, right? So going into it, it's just helping people unlock who they are or what potentials they have hidden. So if y'all ever seen or played Dragon Ball Z game like that, they got like little things called hidden potential unlocked and all this and that there. But it's the same thing. You know how I forgot his name, Goro or something like that, put his hand on Gohan's head before he passed or whatever and helped him unlock that hidden potential. It's the same thing when you run into somebody that got a spiritual channel. You get what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm saying, they help you bomb. They like the subconscious community be like, bomb. Let's get you right. Let's help you remember who you are. Let's bring out those talents that you didn't even know was hidden inside of you. You get what I'm saying? So boom, now this is starting to activate different things of you having an actual path. So you're seeing where you're getting ready to go. So anytime we start looking at the spirit, look at the spirit from something that's supposed to basically expand. So when you're trying to do this, you're trying to get into other bodies, trying to live other life cycles, but actually it's like living. So what they did was withheld living, so we won't be able to actually be able to withstand or be able to succeed in our spiritual way. So it's the opposite of how we see these movies of how they focus everything on Goku getting stronger or Naruto, getting stronger or whoever's in those gyms or whatever. It's not just based off of Goku them, but just in general. So this just to show you the thing of behind it all. You know what I'm saying? The teamwork make the dream work. And then if y'all see in Naruto, no matter how strong one of those males, it always took a whole village for them to actually win the fights or the wars. So this is how you got the Orochimarus, and this is how you get the Frieza. If y'all notice on both of those anime shows, later on, both of them will end up helping the opposite end. So when we start to talk about this is just showing you the demonic side of you, or just saying the sides of you that you might not quite understand. So the way they did play these things out, as in like Naruto, if y'all notice, it was labeled as a demon before it became the nine-tailed beast. Everybody was considering it as a demon that was enhanced in a child. Everybody was considering Saiyans evil before Goku bumped his head. Do y'all see where I'm getting at now? So y'all can start seeing it, because a lot of people get things to it. They be like, oh, it's American. That's a whole different culture. No, it's not. When these people ran the world, these people are shaking hands and agreeing with each other. You don't have no part of it. Whatever part of the world you're raised in, that's how you is. American, we're warlike. Korea, Asia, and all that, they're more mathematical. You get what I'm saying? Africa and places like that, they're more, how I'm gonna say, more treasure or bounty hunter type-ish. So this is just how it goes. This is the way that they create the minds of the people. So these are the ideologies that they give people. So even when they go down to India or go to certain parts like the Buddha monks and stuff, they know these people is mainly off for peace. So they could do a whole bunch of stuff to them because they know they're not with the war and stuff like that. So it gets deep, man. So anyway, when we talk about unlocking your true hidden potential, it's not all this advanced stuff, like I said in the description. Anime is just an exaggerated version of it. Remember, it got a sales. So it can't sell to you looking all boring like me just telling you, hey, when you use your mind that way, there you can unlock different talents and be able to get paid for actually using your mind. Just like we starting to see now, where we have people doing creative things in different ways. You might get on here and see somebody cooking on TikTok versus somebody that's cooking only bakery versus somebody cooking bizarre bakery versus somebody, you get what I'm saying? So like now people are starting to grab and get into these certain niches of finding where they're actually unique at. So when it comes down to content creation, this is the reason why you see also a bunch of celebrities and stuff trying to find their wave of being like a content creator, because they know like this is, you get more of an open opportunity to do what you want. So this is where the next wave for a lot of people. So boom, even before going in that, we can just take that away from it, right? Of just saying that ain't got nothing to do with the overall thing, but just to tell you how people is trying to learn how to use their mind, because a lot of us are starting to get tapped in and tuned in with each other, where we can reconnect thanks to these type of devices right now. You get what I'm saying? So the internet can be used as an ugly thing, where we can see a lot of things that's bad and unhealthy for us, but at the same time, we can find our soul tribe members and connect with the people that we done connect with lifetimes ago or was meant to connect with this lifetime. You get what I'm saying? If we run across them, because It ain't no coincidence. You got to think about how many content creators out there and how many people it is. So sometimes you don't run into people off no coincidence. And we already know, living in America especially, it ain't really a such thing as a coincidence. It normally got something to do with something when it's done. You get what I'm saying? So even like all this government shutdowns and all that stuff. But either way, going back into the things that help us, you know what I'm saying? We can't worry about everything else. So sometimes you can't be too conscious and worry about the conscious world. Because if you worry about the conscious world, it's like worried about this light. You can't be too aware to something and not do nothing about it. So when you put yourself to being aware or trying to fix a situation that you have no control of, this what drives people insane. This what start grinding down your gears. So you got to understand how to control yourself. So one of the main things what Naruto or Dragon Ball Z, Goku, and all them had to practice, y'all, was controlling themselves. When the full moon hit, Goku had to learn how to control himself. With Naruto, when the inner beast came out, he had to learn how to control himself. So all of this was talking about us mentally or what we need to do with our minds. What's good, Monkey? What's good, Bonnie? So either way, going into it, just thinking about how people actually affect our life. Like when we able to think for ourselves or able to build, you know, more unique with our charkas, being more in line with them. So we start to understand what could make us actually rooted in stability, how our mind actually work outside of the square. Remember, you got the 7 charkas going straight down, just like you got the 7 planets. Now, when you look at it from that type of thing there, you also have days, what's good, 6-7 kid? You also have days where it's more based for you to focus towards this charka or towards this energy level. You know what I'm saying? So like, boom, let's get into it. If y'all notice, Naruto had a special ability that he did, right? Even when his son was born, he had his own, right? Goku the same way. Although Goku would learn through Kami, due to the masters that he was around, like Master Roshi, Gohan was able to learn what? He was able to learn Masiko because it was more of a focused wave. So when you think about Piccolo being over there focused and meditating, this is the same thing that people had to do as a concentration. So look at Sasuke, look at Kakashi and stuff like that. It's all just got like a whole parallel to it when you really look at it. What's good, Dr. Froskin? What's good, Allie Candy? What's good, Oni? But that's exactly how it goes. So, man, when you start getting deeper into it, you start understanding, like, damn, they was actually talking about how you unravel the mind. So when you even start looking at the spiral on Naruto, you can start understanding it. And then when you even look at Goku and understand when he get to a mode called what? After Super Saiyan or a mix in between it is called God mode. So then you see the God mode saying 1. Then you see the God mode saying 2. So then it shows you from the charka colors of him going from a denser color to a more lighter and more, you know, quicker. So he goes from the root charka in order to be lighter. Just like what you see with the Naruto when he go into the 6th stage path or whatever. It's like the ascended mode. So he's more like the gods of Naruto. Do y'all see it? It's like they both end up being more like God the more intact they get with their mind. But in the show, it shows off the more powerful they get. But really what makes you powerful or weak is your mind. If you're weak-minded, it don't matter how strong you is physically, you're weak. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, this is where your real gold is. This is where your real esoteric wealth come from. So when you talk about spiritual banks or something like that, just look at it like that. So be careful what you pay attention to. So we learned that because if you pay attention to the wrong thing for too long of a period and think that it's a light for you for a source of information, you might end up getting blind because you're so invested in it. Sometimes you got to look at it and step away, even if you got to step away from what I'm saying right now. But anyways, you said, yeah, I'm basically just breaking down how animes got a lot to do with us of how we control ourselves and how we unlock hidden potentials within ourselves. So this is how you see people able to get to a greater scale. So this is, without us having restriction and stuff. So this is without us worrying about what we could do about the world, but worry about what we could do with ourselves. So this is real psychology. This ain't that bullshit because they be talking about psychology, but they don't even understand the zodiac system or they don't even understand planets, transitions, don't understand nothing. So it don't even make sense because the word psych come from itself is psychic, or you can say zodiac. You get what I'm saying? So this is where these come from. So you helping you understand the zodiac is the same way that Naruto had to understand the inner beast. The same way that Goku had to understand his inner child and his inner beast as well. Because remember, they used to turn to gorillas. You get what I'm saying? When the full moon was out, what does the full moon represent? The full moon represents your feelings being fulfilled. Represent your feelings being fulfilled or you being unfulfilled in a biased way. So the way that they play it out in the movie is making it like, he's trying to be fulfilled when the full moon come in, aka be a beast that's under that can't be controlled. So the same thing with Naruto when he got angry, couldn't be controlled. So I'm showing y'all how these things show you of anger, of how you get psyched out, or how you could crash out in real life. Or YN, for example. Your YN, just because you got a Glock and just because you mad, that don't mean you should spray everybody in the area. You get what I'm saying? That's how you end up in jail the rest of your life. It's simple stuff like that, but in a movie, they put it more animated because this is something they're selling us for this entertainment. But when we come down to our real life, this is the things that we actually go through. This is what make you actually super. When you know how to take things and go through stuff in life and make it look like ain't even nothing going on, where a person can't even tell you going through something. You know what I'm saying? You make it look easy. You ever seen somebody like real good at dancing, so then you go try to do the dance move and it don't work out the same? So it's the same thing like that. You learn how to esoterically dance, so you know how to vibe with each vibration and frequency. You don't be scared like the conscious people telling you to be scared of low vibrations, low frequencies. None of that stuff wouldn't exist if you didn't have to use it. Sometimes you need something low. You know why? You need something low and slow. Sometimes you need to meditate, focus, concentrate. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of times people try to live life too fast, and life is already fast enough. So when you're not trying to slow it down and make it look like you're trying to, make a good precision on where you're trying to hit in life, aka your parents will tell you you're moving too fast. That's why you fucking up. Same thing. That simple. You see what I'm saying? It don't take no rocket scientists. I'm just telling y'all how this stuff is. And that's just how it works. So at the end of the day, our mentality, aka our UFO, which is unidentified, you know what I'm saying? You cannot see my mind. So whatever I'm thinking or where my mind going, you do not know. But as you being a user, you have to know where your mind going. Don't say Jesus take the wheel. Don't blame your mind on some other exterior source, because that exterior source is going to forever control your mind, aka your wheels, aka your charkas, aka your mind. So do not be crashing out. You get what I'm saying? So this teach people how to actually keep themselves withheld, especially with the world that we're going through right now, where it's a bunch of confusion and a bunch of the stuff that you done been told that was the truth through your whole life. It was actually the biggest lies ever. And you have to learn how to deal with it at the same time and try to keep living and try to keep going through it. And trust me, on the spiritual end, I get it. It's more irritating when you're able to be aware to what the world is doing and how everybody is being lost and how everybody's still joining religions where they should be able to see like, yo, it's got nothing for you. You don't see that it was designed after colonization? Did you not think about that? Did you not notice that every time the religion popped up, not just in the USA, but every time across the world that it popped up, it was right after they colonized it? USA and the only thing they colonized. So then when you go to get into it, you're like, damn, hold on. And then they made your colonizers your kings. So we don't understand that. So the people that you looked at, like the Orochimaru and the Freezers, notice they always had one of them. Freezer came out to Vegeta to try to get him to blow up the blow up his daddy stuff. That's when he did it. Think about it. Orochimaru came out to Sasuke. You see what I'm saying? So there's no way you getting away from this, because these things come to you because this is called your inner urge of hunger. You know how when somebody get mad and they're poor and they stuff like that, and they get mad and they rob somebody? This is because they don't have self-control actually, bro. So this is like them letting Orochimaru or Frieza actually tell them what to do. That's what I'm saying. Nah, why would you be a prey to a predator? Especially when you look at the God that they preserve. Who told you was naked, staring at you from afar? You don't know who's looking at you, but they watching you, but you can't see them. Like, come on, man. Y'all got to think. Like, a religion had lost people to thinking that, this things was okay. Not only remembering that it's a phallic religion. So you got to think about how deep it actually goes, man. So when you start to look at wondering why the priest touching the little kids, you got to understand that ain't got, we ain't got no control over that, but we got to understand to stop putting our kids and stop thinking that these people could be trusted because they coming in the name of the Lord. Didn't y'all learn that in their own book? Because they said they pure part of God, that don't mean they was. So in y'all own book, y'all see that. So, nah, I don't. You get what I'm saying? I look at it as my manifesting and trying to materialize depending on how I want to aim it. But my main thing is me just manifesting material. Mine's more emotional. So me helping myself stay stable. You know what I'm saying? So I don't get emotionally torn or get mentally frustrated with a lot of stuff that's going on. So that's what you got to kind of hope for yourself at a certain age. Especially me, I got a lot of kids, y'all. So my life don't come easy. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know a little background. And nigga pay child support with the child that stay in my full custody. So if y'all don't know, there go real quick thing just to let you know I'm not perfect either. Yeah, but I just answered the prayer thing. I don't mess with it. Dragon Ball Z was definitely real life. Yes, exactly. That's why you had Vegeta coming against who? Majin Buu. And y'all notice, I want y'all to notice that each one of these people was a colonizer. The Frieza, Cell, Majin Buu, Cooler, all of these people. Because why? When they came, what did they do? Try to take over other planets and blow up other planets. So in a long-term perspective, it looked crazy. But if it ain't no other planet but Earth, this letting you know how they blowing up other parts of the planet, aka other continents. So how they make forces with other continents. Like you ain't know Frieza knew what his name is, Beerus. You get what I'm saying? It was like a cross thing when they found it. They're like, hold on, how the hell Frieza know Beerus? Exactly. So it's like, and Beerus had to play the god, the real full government, the one that could shake hands with all parties. So it get deep when y'all don't be understanding that. That's the reason why every time, Goku got strong, he tested Goku will. So it plays out in that type of way, and it's also to help him get to the next form or to understand evolution. So beyond that, I could break it down in too many different ways, but it's just showing us how our minds get transitioned. You get what I'm saying? That's why you have a transformation. So when you understand the magic, which is, the sun getting ready to do its thing anyway, you start understanding the real power of the Scorpio constellation. Not you just being a Scorpio, you understanding how that power worked for you. So we have a house system, and we just say the eighth house for short. So when you understand how that works, this is how you able to transform those same mentalities or that emotion that you have. So instead of you getting mad and want to wreck out, you get mad and put it on a beat. You get mad and dance or something where you show your talent at an express way, at a high altitude, at some type of way where you can make money from it. That's what I'm saying. What's good, man? I guess, well, it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Think about this. What did Goku say every time he did the what? It's called the spirit bomb. And he said, hey, everybody spare y'all energy with me. So when you look at it like that, just look at everything we put our focus in. We are the energy. We are the power. Without us, Goku couldn't have did it. So you got to understand, like, even if a person is super spiritual, even if a person is like me, could know all of this shit. I done broke down religion of where the sun came from. Y'all can put it in yourself. The sun is allegory for what? And it's going to tell you Jesus. It's going to hurt your feelings, but hey, you got to get through it. You know what I'm saying? It's the only way you're able to get stronger when you find out that those mindsets that you had was actually weak and holding you back. And that's the reason why they gave you these mindsets. So you wouldn't be able to evolve spiritually. So you always had a spiritual held back. And you never knew what was holding you back. And you was like, why I got so many questions? Because they told you the question. You're waiting for their validation of what question you should ask next. That's the reason why they play the forces of NASA and make Space Force X and stuff where you have no obligation to go, but they could tell you what's going on up there. They could tell you when a meteorite coming. You don't know when it's coming without you being told by them. So they have controls like this so they can play with the narrative. The same thing they did with the Neil Armstrong, them going to the moon, and they telling you now they never went. So it's like, okay, now we going to believe y'all still, or y'all going to just try to wipe past that to see how many people was actually locked in and focused in. So this is what we do. So now y'all show us movies and stuff, and this is the reason why y'all struggling to make new movies that's actually good. Because we done figured out the game so well that y'all can't even make a movie as good as real life because you have the most bizarre shit going on. You know what I'm saying? You got people getting caught up and videos coming out from them doing crazy shit years ago, and it's like, whoa, yeah. You know what I'm saying? The JFK thing to all of that. Even if it's AI, even if they don't play with it now, and y'all got to remember, a lot of people be talking about everything AI. No, they had CGI before that. They always had some type of thing where they could make something look like it what it ain't. And that's what it was. And if that ain't called manipulation at that point in the level, I don't know what to call it for you. You get what I'm saying? So this is the same way they made Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and all this mutant stuff. So when we go into the other animes, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, all of this type of stuff there, Spider-Man and stuff like that, where you got to get bit by something, or the Sandman and stuff like this. So they're telling you, we're testing superhumans out in labs. So yeah, to you it might look like a Venom or a Spider-Man, but that really was a human that fell in this toxic waste that we had, but he didn't fall. We actually poured it on him because it was an experiment. He got paid to be a science experiment. Some people didn't get paid. They just grab random people, just like y'all see, a lot of missing people. Not only do they butcher them, but goddamn, they run science experiences on them too. So they see, get things pumped in them. Y'all seen Incredible Hulk, where the scientists the dude kept coming back trying to fight Hulk, and look at Hulk himself or how he became Hulk. So y'all don't realize, like, they're trying to show you, like, all of these things come mainly from something that a human did wrong. Let them tell it. Some mistake that wasn't in the plans. Even when they going to use an AI thing, something wasn't in the plans. It's like they always try to do that. So don't try to blame it on AI, y'all. Them people. AI, no. Anything y'all going to see that's going to try to say AI did this, those people. That's not AI. You get what I'm saying? Don't let them turn you like that. Those people still behind telling this AI to do it. And they're going to sit there and say it's him. Nope. It's you, buddy. You know what I'm saying? We see you in the shadows. So y'all already know. Y'all see the game coming. You got to understand the puppeteer and the puppet. Y'all got to understand that. The puppeteer is not supposed to show himself. Only the puppet supposed to be down there dancing. And if a puppet is really good, if a puppeteer is really good, he would really have that puppet dancing where you don't see the strings and can't even tell it's a puppet. aka agents online. You know what I'm saying? Antonio Dance, all them type of people there. You know what I'm saying? Antonio Daniels and all the Myron Brilliant and all them people there. You know what I'm saying? But either way, I said it to their face. But the point is, these are the people that you have sidetrack you. You know why? They call you to their channel. Oh shit, let me get my Glock real quick. I don't like all that. Hold up. Let me hold that real quick. Something over here in the trash can, yeah. I don't know which one it is. Matter of fact, you can just give me that you can just give me that weight. I don't even need all that. Cause soon as something comes running out, that joker better be ready. I'm a blink. I'm a blink. That's all y'all gonna hear is just a blink. I'm talking about that's all y'all gonna hear. Y'all know I gotta have a little comedian in it, man. We can't just have no boring talk all day. But yeah, man, I'm telling y'all. Yeah, put that right there, because them things over there trying to get in our trash can and try to get that damn spaghetti I don't waste everywhere on my shirt. They probably gonna come get my shirt next.
Okay, you seen that raccoon?
I know that boy was big, boy. That boy was really big. And even the raccoon, the panda bear, all that stuff there, that's why they got like these type of things where I can even talk about something where I randomly just said and bring in how Freemasons use the black and white thing. So a lot of people get lost into that. And when we try to pick a side, you don't realize this is why you unbalanced. So when you try to go most off your thoughts and you don't understand the gender between it as well. That's why a man supposed to be more active and don't think as much. Because if we sit there and think as much, we wouldn't get a lot done. We'll be too scared, overthought it. So when y'all see men or how they like to, make the little skits or the videos, be like, look how men spending time what you thought versus what you thought they were doing. And we over there jumping up a tree or doing something that has nothing to do with, actually proceeding in life, like the dumbest shit ever. So this is just how life is, y'all. And I was just bringing out a video yesterday that we supposed to be different. We don't supposed to be the same. Like, if you want somebody the same, you need to go do something else then, because we supposed to be different. That's what make us unique. A man ain't naturally as clean as a woman when you talk about like 50 of us trying to clean up a house and stuff. It's just the way that they put a touch behind it, the delicacy behind it. You can't fuck with it, dog. That's just like a man that hit behind that damn helmet gonna have that motherfucking screw not moving as much. So y'all gotta understand not to hate on each other, but therefore love each other, because the more love you have for each other, the deeper the connection get. So now when we talk about even when these guys went through a point in their life, their wife had to be a point where they ascended even more. You get what I'm saying? Like with the Goku shit going to the stage 2 of it, with the Naruto shit, trying to become with Hinata, whatever her name is. But regardless, y'all, this just show y'all how it goes. I'm gonna hold this weight like a mom, I'm telling y'all. So I'm gonna hop over here, y'all. All y'all gonna hear is that joker squealing, I'm telling you. Because that's all it is animals out here. There ain't no such thing as no alien, y'all. No mermaids, no none of that. If y'all see one of them, the government did something to somebody and threw them in the water. And it might look weird. We're not saying they're not going to be weird. We're not going to say you're not going to think they're alien. But this is what it come off as. So even when you talk about, man, why these boys be yelling so loud on that darn game, boy? Them kids be into it. But anyways, just getting back to it, man. Oh, Lord. It probably is that raccoon. I think I just seen it. But yeah, getting back to it, man, it's just crazy because we don't understand how much potential we actually have as a people. And we actually able to put our mind together, actually be able to have healthy competitions, not where we murking each other to see who could kill each other. No, that's dumb as hell and it's pointless. But when we having competitions of who could build the best boat, who could build the best plane, who could build the best iPhone, who could build the best whatever. You know what I'm saying? This is what actually supposed to advance the world. This is why we so held back. This is the reason why we still dependent on fossil fuel for cars, and we've been dependent on it the last 40, 50 years for it. So this is the reason why it don't make sense. So even when you get to the electric cars, look how it was produced. They make it like Elon the first one to produce that. No, a lot of things these people say these people produced, they ain't did nothing but took over where somebody else had already created it and just made it into a newer version using the newer stuff that they got. That's it. You get what I'm saying? They're just like the electric scooters. They're just more popular now. But when I was a kid, I had an electric scooter, a mongoose one. So they stopped making them that way and went to making off-brand ones, making their own brand, to the point that none of those brands is the brand that I grew up with. So it just to show y'all that's how it is, bro. The world is supposed to evolve, bro. Look at the animals. They supposed to evolve. They're not supposed to be the same animals. Same thing with the trees. The same thing with the plant. So it's looking like stage of evolution. So even when it come down to shows like Digimon and Pokemon, that's the reason why I still had a hit to it, because you got to see the evolution of a stage in life. So y'all remember, how do we get to evolve through stages of life? You can't in the same day. So I always ask people that. Y'all always talk about how important this God figure and this man figure is. Without the sun going to the next day, you can't even grow, bro. You gonna sit in one area. You get what I'm saying? So that without time, what I'm saying is you're not gonna be able to move. You're not gonna be in no growth. There's not gonna be no transformation, nothing. So this is the reason why we have to understand becoming light. So we becoming more like the sun, aka how is it floating up there, and it's not as dense as us. So we got to become more light. So this is us becoming less negative, more positive. That don't mean we don't need to be negative, because sometimes you need the negativity, like I was telling you, to give you a feed or to a spunk for something. Like how basically Sasuke used Naruto to get stronger, how Vegeta used Bibidi for him to get overtaken so he could be his equal with Goku. It's the same type of shit. That's what we're supposed to be learning, not just getting too sidetracked into the shows. So even when you jump outside of those type of shows and you're going to see things like sci-fi and all of this, it's always the importance of a person having to remember what they was already known of. That's why the smartest guy be the main character, you know what I'm saying, that know how to destroy the aliens or got the willpower to do it. Because he already been here before, but they don't remember it in his existence of his time. So then they be like, damn, why are you so good at this? And da-da-da. And then they come find out later on, this person, granddaddy was into this and this and that. They like to do those on MTV too. Like the movie Teen Wolf and stuff. So it's like a lot of ways where we see these people, you know, playing these things out later on. Man, when I tell you these kids loud as heck, they ain't loud. I hear them out here. Them jokers too loud, y'all. I'm talking about, I got 2 doors closed. They was coming through, man. Them boys some good music systems, you hear me? But anyways, man, just to, you know, just to show y'all how it is. So even when it comes out of my kids and y'all, it ain't no religious perspective. And when you see how they think, it's not the same question and the mindset we had as kids. You know what I'm saying? Well, we had this religious thought and we always had to ask these stupid questions. And be like, well, who is God, daddy? You know, well, if God did this, why would God not kill the devil? And why would God be mean to us if God told us not to do evil, but then stop us from doing it? You know, stuff like that. Because that back then, that was us already trying to understand, okay, you can't blame nothing on God. You're responsible for what you got to do. That's why you have duties and obligations and responsibilities that you're supposed to be doing. Like that's on you. So when it comes to one of the things of being responsible about, you got to be responsible for your own mind. You can't let nobody play you off the streets. You can't make nobody trick you off the streets. So this is how it goes. So if you ain't in the streets, you can't let nobody trick you out your position at your job. You can't let nobody trick you out your business. You get what I'm saying? You got to know how to play the game. Y'all can't look at it and always get stereotyped or always try to visualize things in a small vision and a small scope through a certain lens. No, look at it with an open lens so you'll be able to see what it's meant to see. So then when you know to close that lens up, it's too much to see here. It's too much to intake. I don't know what's going on. So you won't get blind. You get what I'm saying? So it's the same thing, man, because a lot of times if we did that, we wouldn't get so lost into the religion. Because then you start reading stuff, you're like, what the fuck this got to do with today? What the hell? And then you start getting so lost. Now you're arguing for something that you're lost about and don't even understand it because you're so deep within that doctrine. So not only are you in doctrine, you're indoctrinated in hell. You get what I'm saying? You don't went to hell because you don't went so low with it. You get what I'm saying? Like literally, instead of you being light and feather or smoking, blazing, being high as hell, your ass is heavier than a motherfucking ton of bricks and shit. You get what I'm saying? You're not light like a feather. You're more heavy like brick. So this is the reason why people become more dense, more satanic. This is where these words come from, or made more godly or angelic. Because this is you being able to use the lighter size or the higher size of the square of your own imagination, your own sacred geometry when it comes down to where you're going to part off of. So starting when you look at a triangle, square, all that. I'm actually do a whole breakdown on that too as an overall, because you know later on when you're going through it, you find out more words to use to try to get your point out. So I definitely need to redo that video. And I also want to read the 7 charka one as well, because I want to talk about it, because a lot of people always talk about the 22 charka jump. Outside of that, y'all, it's a whole different thing. It's talking about going into a whole nother details of what's going on, and people like to get lost into that. No, that's a whole nother thing. Like people, like, yeah, I'm gonna have to really explain that. Just like, oh, I'm also do the Kabbalah and the Tree of Life. You know what I'm saying? So we see all of these things of how it was talking about us. Every single history, whether it was Egyptology, whether it was Hinduism, whether it was Zionism, whether it was whatever it was, no matter what it was. Did I say Egyptology already? And Babylonian Hinduism. What's another one that's like a deep trending of it that like a lot of people be into? Besides like the Greek gods and all that. But either way, it's the same version as that. It just came in over. That's the reason why you have all these gods coming in the number 12. And I already broke down a video on that. So y'all make sure y'all go check out me doing a breakdown of the number 12, how powerful it actually is and what it actually stands for. You get what I'm saying? So not only is it 12 hours of the day and 12 hours of the night, you get to start understanding the real insight of what it actually is. You get what I'm saying? Even when you look at it from a 3 and a 9 perspective of what they tell you when these two come together. You know, it get deep, man. They really get deep. Because remember, if everything is in the number 3s, this is how our reality comes. So you have the spiritual, which is the birth. You have the mental, which is life. Then you have the physical, which is death. So this is the 3 layers. And each one of those 3 layers have 3 layers in it. Just like now, we have a cycle, right, of the sun for each position it is in throughout the month. But then we got the days of the week as well. So we got the days throughout the month, but then we got the month switching positions. So if you don't understand what I'm saying, the month be like, okay, the sun vibing with Mars is Tuesday. The sun vibing with the moon is Monday, or however you want to look at it. But then we got to go into, then we got to like switching signs throughout the month. So not only do you have the sun being into, Libra at this time of the day, you get what I'm saying? You'll have time being at Aries or Aquarius or whatever in that time of the day. So you got another small version of it. So it all come back down in 3s again. So then you start seeing the separation of even the seasons, right? The seasons break down to 4. But each season having 3 zodiacs or 3 houses representing that season. So that's the reason why you have 4 times 3 equals 12. The 12, the whole circle. So when you start to look at it, you understand the 12 times 30, the God looked in the 360. So the look is being the sun falling into each one of these different ways to be seen. Then you had the moon, of course. Then you know what I'm saying? Then this is the reason why we start having lunar babies, eclipse babies, babies that were born on a half a moon. You know what I'm saying? People that were born where the sun was in the moon phase or the sun was in this position. So this is the reason why you come up with your uniqueness of what actually make you. This is your real cosmic knowledge, however they like to say it, but it's really just your real thing with Father. This is how you bond with Father while you vibing with Mother on earth. So this is your directions that you're supposed to have as a spirit to know what to do. But by us being so lost and getting lost by the blind people, we don't understand how to track this time ourselves. So we don't even know how to look up and tell what time of the day is. We have to go by the watch. And we don't even understand, a lot of people don't even understand what a clock or a watch was even created. Like I just told y'all, the 12. Look at 2 hours. Look at the day and the night of each time of those hours. So even down into the smaller mind of it, this is how it goes. So this is how we get the timing of it. Of if you'll have a 6 at night, and you'll have a 6 in the morning. You get what I'm saying? So this just helping y'all understand the deepness of it, of even how to make a calendar or clock, period. So this is how far it goes, man. But anyways, y'all, I wasn't planning on staying up this night too long because I hadn't just really got off work and moving around and stuff. But anyways, man, make sure y'all tune in tomorrow. So I might end up doing another live, man. I'm out, OG Drill. Go back, y'all. Trust me, y'all. There's a lot in it. You're going to take care of more when you get a deeper understanding of it.